Imagine an African community, all Africans living in diaspora, coming together, not to achieve as an individual, but rather to achieve as a team. Welcome on CTV Uganda. Today we are having a very important person from Afcodd. Mr. Chairman, you are most welcome on CTV Uganda.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul Kasita, the host of this. My name is David Kasajja. I'm the chairman and the founder of Afcodd. We highly appreciate your role in the community for CTV, a privately owned entity that has played a lot of role to the diaspora communities. I'm also designated to play a role of creativity, innovation, and I'm also heading the Chief Marketing Officer of Afcodd. Why all this? The major reason for this is that marketing is everything. In the modern world, the concept of the modern world, any modern business, any modern church, any modern mosque, any non-profit making organization, the marketing department is the engine.
It is the force
that is driving the force of development management, mobilization. In that nutshell, marketing is everything in any entity.
Yes, of course, if you have a market, then
yes,
that means you are in short.
Yes, it can be well insinuated or by one CEO in the brand of computing, HP, David Packard. David Packard expounded it that any CEO, marketing is too important to be left to the marketing department. The CEO has a major role to play to see that the driving force or the engine drives the turbine. The life of the company moves naturally in the company or in an organization. Marketing insights A to Z, written by one of the American professor and the father of marketing, Kotler. That quote can be formed. It gives the concept and the proper reason why a CEO must be a rancher of market, and he should be supervising marketing.
Yes, of course, because the CEO becomes the face of the company.
Definitely.
Everything. So you should hold this.
Yes.
Well, coming to the Afcodd concept, what would you like to talk about it more in details?
When you look at Afcodd, Afcodd is Afro Community Development in the diaspora, and its concept is basically to unite all Africans in the diaspora for a common cause to develop and add value on Africa through social cohesion. That's why you see most of the times we are on events. We are on even night parties. We are celebrating a lot of conversions.
Yes.
For the communities in the diaspora, especially in the UAE, because we are in the first phase. We cannot go in the US now.
Yeah.
We cannot go in the Canada. So we are basically trying to build the concept.
Meaning the first effort is currently focusing on within the Gulf and specifically in the UAE.
Because of the start,
yes,
the effect of the start. We cannot have the capacity to go to the US and to other parts of the world.
Yeah, because of recent I've been seeing Afcodd booming a lot in social events. Ugandan conversion, I saw you were there.
The Bako.
Uganda conversion, you were there. I and under raise investments, the desert safari and Hata vibes.
Absolutely.
You were there. Then when it came to games and sports, Banyoro versus Watoro, you were there.
Yes.
Banyoro versus Basoga.
Yes.
We were there, the Inter Emirates, the Abu Dhabi Super League. So we see you're trying much to engage the communities and support them in that spirit. And I think it is a good initiative, because if you're dealing in diaspora, you need again to give back, because this is more of a social corporate responsibility, giving back to people or to the community. So I really appreciate that, Mr. David.
Yes, actually, this being the vision of Afcodd, because you cannot unite people in virtue, in space. You cannot do any unity of people without being into them. without having a proper relationship with them.
In other words, you're trying to bring a united force.
Yeah, so you've seen the activities of Afcodd in sponsorship, in groundwork of social communities. Right from the start was the Dubai Brotherhood community, which is basically for the community of Dubai, specifically in Deira. You've seen us supporting a lot of weddings. We've supported the repatriating dead bodies of fellow Ugandans who die here in the diaspora. We have done a lot of support, investing in their repatriation of the dead bodies. We have done the concept of supporting community events, like you've mentioned the Bako event.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is basically to create the linkage, to strengthen the interlinkages of relationships and to define who we are. When we come from Uganda, we come from Ghana, Rwanda, Burundi.
Yes.
These are our homes. The concept changes completely, Chairman. It changes. It is a new life. When somebody is in the new life, they tend to have a confusion in the mindset. Somebody feels, I came here to look money and go back. I don't want to know. Someone feels, I should not interact with this one. Maybe because of family things, maybe I can lose my family. It is a new life with a lot of mixed up feeling. People tend to get confused even to 20 years in the diaspora when actually they don't know whether they should live a defined life.
In other words,
so we want to define diaspora life the way our grandfathers defined our homes. The government, when people get in the diaspora, sometimes they tend to get demobilized. We need to get people in the diaspora to appreciate the value of staying in the diaspora, because many people tend to think, maybe I'm going back tomorrow. And he says 20 years here without interacting with anyone, because his vision was thinking was going back to Uganda.
Actually, I see where Mr. David you're going. In other words, you're trying to prepare the people in diaspora.
Yes.
They are stayed here when they are here, at least to be in that enjoyable life. Of course, by involving yourself in these kind of activities, it means you're making them to be occupied.
Yes.
And then also back at home.
Yes.
You need at least to do like planning and seeing that way back in Africa, at least something can be done within these different countries to see that the Africa progresses.
Definitely, if you look at the vision for Afcodd, there is the concept of permanent resettlement of us in our life when we go back home. The vision of Afcodd mainly is how we resettle back at home after our old age. When you go back home, you're already old. People cannot think like this, but when you go back at home, you're already old.
You've already depreciated.
But we must create a framework of investment back home when we settle home. We've done a lot of businesses, and businesses have been dying. People have been using our resources and our effort, which we send back home, because of poor management skills. Sometimes they don't even take away this money or these resources, but because of mismanagement, we lose them. We want to create a system that manages professionally with skilled people with eligible skills to manage our projects back home. When we settle back home, these like university, hospital, we have them well planned, that these investments, we can get them on board there and they can reap us a lot of profits, that when we settle, it is our insurance for our old age. Like we have the plan of the academic city, which is going to be the first development project to put back in Uganda, to set up in Uganda. It's going to be a project for all people in the diaspora, not only Ugandans, but whoever is interested in the first phase is welcome, even if he's in Canada, in the US, in Uganda, even stakeholders. We welcome them.
Whoever loves the development of Africa.
Definitely, whoever loves Africa. So,
in other words, in a nutshell, what is the vision of Afcodd?
The vision of Afcodd is to transform Africa into a paradigm through diaspora, development, unity, and social cohesion.
Okay, that is